This is the 2026 Nissan Armada Pro-4X, and in today's Vehicle Visionary video, I'm going to tell you what the advantages are that it offers. Hey everybody, it's Tom from Vehicle Visionary. I hope you're having a great day. Now when you look at it from the front, it looks a lot like any other Armada out there. You're going to have your full LED lighting with the LED daytime running lights, LED low and high beams. You'll also find your LED fog lights down here on the lower portion of the bumper. That's going to be right down there. Turn signal indicators also going to be LED. We'll have our gloss black upper grille area here with our Nissan logo. Then that works its way down here to the matte finish with a little bit of gloss black down here. Not too much, but that works. But here's one of the big advantages here. Number one, you're going to have the air ride suspension. You can raise and lower the height of the vehicle. Now when you go to drive down the road, it's going to go to stock ride height, but you can raise it for off-roading at lower speeds. And when you park, you can actually drop it down to make it easier to get in and out of. It's going to have the standard all-terrain tires. Those are going to be wrapped around your gloss black 20-inch wheels. You're also going to have your 2-speed transfer case, your electronic rear diff. That's going to be here. We're going to work our way up. We're going to see turn signal indicators built into the side view mirrors. Now this is not so much out of the ordinary. They are heated, power adjustable, blind spot monitoring built in, and they're also going to be power folding. You'll also have your underbody skid plate protection. That's going to help out in those off-roading situations. You can see your blind spot monitoring indicator right there. Show you the key fob here. You've got lock, unlock, remote start. You can open and close your power tailgate. You have the ability to run the panic button if you need to. And in the event that for some reason the battery dies in your key fob or the vehicle itself, your mechanical key goes right here. That allows you to lock and unlock the interior in all situations. Easy to deal with. And we're going to have our step right here. The thing about that, that's where that air ride suspension comes in, because normally if you're going to do any off-roading, the model is capable of strong off-roading performance. You don't really want an assist step like this because it hurts your ground clearance, but that's the advantage of that air ride suspension. We'll have the gloss black with our door handles. We're going to have the gloss, or the black finish, I should say, up here with our upper area with the roof. Also going to have the crossbars on top of those roof rails. It's going to give you that extra cargo capacity that I know a lot of you need. And right here, something that's a little bit different, that Armada name right there with a different finish compared to what you're going to see on a lot of models. Something else here that I do like, the LED tail lights, the lighting element working its way across here. That looks good, something that separates it apart from some competitors. There's your Pro-4X logo. And another big advantage here is going to be your towing capability. It's at the top of the class at 8,500 pounds when properly equipped. Under the hood is the 3.5-liter twin-turbo V6. Now it makes 425 horsepower. That's not at the top of the class. However, the torque is really strong at 516 pounds-feet. That's going to be mated to a 9-speed automatic transmission, 0 to 60, about 5.9 seconds. You're looking at a top speed of around 140 miles per hour, give or take a little bit. You're going to have your hill start assist and hill descent control. And then I'm not going to be able to show you this because it's such a glare out here, but I'm going to tell you the numbers on your MPGs. Now this is not at the top of the class, but here they are. 15 city, 18 highway, 16 combined, 6.2 gallons of gas for every 100 miles driven. And with that thirsty V6 under the hood, how about your gas tank details? It comes in at 23.6 gallons in capacity. In the city, you should be able to drive about 354 miles on a full tank of gas. Out on the highway, that number jumps to 425 miles. And obviously that varies depending on where you drive, how you drive, all of that's going to be there. Now let's work our way into a few more things we didn't talk about here. Number one, you've got the nice large fender surround here. That's obviously for your off-roading purposes, and it's nice that it's not body color and it's actually plastic. That way it holds up better on the trail. Now we're going to work our way to the back here, and there's a few different ways you can open your power tailgate depending on what you want to do. The button on the tailgate, the button on the remote. There's also a button on the interior. Now real quick, I'm going to let my cameraman show you what's going on in the interior as I give you the cargo space numbers, which behind the third row is 20.4 cubic feet. Behind the second row, we're looking at 56.3 cubic feet and 97.1 with everything maximized. And we'll look right here real quick, since we've got not too much to talk about here on the left-hand side, but there's your power outlet. As you can see, we're going to have a little bit of space here underneath the floor. You need to take advantage of that. And right here is where you can raise and lower the rear of the vehicle. You're going to have the air ride suspension buttons right there. So what happens is you can raise and lower the rear if you want to. Now, these buttons right here are going to be, number one, these are for the back seats. Now, here's something that I like that the competitors such as the Chevrolet Tahoe don't allow for. All I did was push the button one time. I didn't have to hold it down to lower or raise the seats. I like that. I can also use these buttons to lower the middle seats. However, there is one difference here. If you look at the buttons, you're going to notice that you can only lower the middle seats. You can raise the back seats just like this. I'm going to push that button right there. We're going to bring that up, and you can see that I'm not holding that down again. My hands aren't on anything, but that's how that's going to work. That's a big advantage that you have here over the competition, something that I think is a nice little convenience. One thing you might have noticed I did not mention is a sunroof. It's because there's not one here. For me, that works. For some people, it might not. Just depends on what your preference is, on what you end up with. Now, your door panel here, let's talk about that. We're going to have our orange contrast stitching above. On the armrest area, you've got the white contrast stitching. The nice, comfortable armrest has a little bit of padding built in there. That works nicely. And your door bin / bottle holder is also here. Plenty of room. And you can also see that we have the Klipsch audio. We're going to let you hear that later in the video. Sounds really good. Now, one thing I have to say, good job, Nissan. They must have been watching my videos. Why do I say that? Because the Pro-4X logo is not only on the front headrest, it's also on these headrests here with the captain's chairs in the middle area. Not on the back. It should be in all 3 rows, Nissan. But good job on getting it here. You can move the seats back and forth. That's always convenient for your third row passengers. That's a good thing. The lever on the side of the seat right down here, that's how we lowered that seat back down. If you want to do that from this area, you can also use that to bring it back up. And the release on the top of the seat right here, we're going to pull up on that. That gets the seat up and out of the way. That allows me ease and convenience of jumping into this third row. And we'll bring that back. Now the seat isn't all the way back. We'll put the headrest up and out of place. The seat would come back to about right here, but that gives you an idea that there's a good bit of leg space potentially back here, and this seat actually could go up a little bit further. Now, let's talk about what's over here. We're gonna have our cup holders, first of all. A couple of cup holders right there. We've also got our USB connectivity, and if you're wondering what this is, that's how you recline the seat backs. See that? That's reclined. A very popular question, do the seat backs recline? Obviously they do in this case. And then we're also going to have our air conditioning vent right up here blowing right on the passenger. I like that. That just seems to work really well. And an oh crap handle in the third row. How many full-size SUVs have an oh crap handle in the third row? Not too many. And obviously, it's pretty easy to get out of this third row. You can either go through the pass-through or just use that release one more time on top of the seat and get the seat right up and out of the way. Let's talk about what your second row passengers are going to find. Obviously, these seats recline just like the rear seats, maybe a little bit more, very comfortable. Now, the armrest, in my opinion, is a little bit on the short side. You can see that, well, a little more than half my arm fits on there, but not much. It'd be nice to have it come up about that far, something like that. I always like to say the measurement should be to the top of the seat right here. Automakers with these types of vehicles, full-size SUVs, yeah, make that as tall as the seat back, and I think people will be a lot happier. Now, we're also going to have our air conditioning vents right here, the oh crap handle one more time. Work our way down. We're going to see that we have a couple of cup holders right here, and then some storage space and a couple of USB ports. That's nice. There's no shortage of USB ports in the interior. We're also going to have a couple of USB ports right here on the rear of the center console, in addition to a 12-volt power outlet and your third zone of climate control. Dual in the front, single in the rear, fan speed, temperature. You can see everything else that's here depending on where everybody wants air going. Whatever they need to do with that, it's all here. And a little bit of storage space on the back of the seats with the rear seat pockets. Tons of space, very comfortable. How about the sticker price? $81,070. Tell me what you think down in the comments section. Now let's move up here to our upper console. Not a whole lot to talk about up here. We do have our lights and things like that. You can do that to turn your lights on and off. You can have your sunglass holder. I think you can see what else is going on here. Got your rear view mirror right here. And we'll work our way down. You can see some more of that orange contrast stitching working its way across right there. A very nice setup here as far as that goes. We'll have some storage with the glove box down there, about conventional size, nothing out of the ordinary, but you can see what's going on there. The passenger side door panel, a little bit more space with the armrest and the door bin compared to what we saw with the back seat, and a little bit more of that orange contrast stitching. Now we're going to work our way over here. We're going to come right down here real quick and show you the pass-through. Not only is there a pass-through and some space in here, there's also the 12-volt power outlet that you can take full advantage of. Now, I'm going to grab the remote. We're going to see that we have seat memory here on the driver's side. Here's the button I used to fold those mirrors in. Just like that, you can adjust your mirrors, choosing which one you adjust. Passenger side, driver's side over here, and you can just turn those off when you're not using them. One touch down and one touch up at all 4 doors. As far as your windows go, that works really well. And then we can hit the button right here and you can have your steering assist. That's what this button is right here. It's going to tell you if it's off or on. Open and close your power tailgate right here. You also have the power control here for your power adjustable steering wheel. It's tilt and telescopically adjustable. We're going to once again have the orange contrast stitching with that baseball style stitching right there throughout the inside area of the steering wheel. Your cruise control will be controlled right here. And depending on what you want to do with the screen, you can use the center screen over here. That's the button right there. We can control what's going on there if we want to, or we can push right here and it comes over here to the left. So we can actually go through quite a few different things with our steering wheel mounted controls. I can push the scroll wheel and work my way through depending on what I want to see, what I want to change, what I want to know about. There's a lot going on here. Depending on what your situation is and what you need to know about or have on the screen, it's nice to have all of this here and just see what's here. Very convenient to use. You can hit the back button if you need to. Got your voice commands right there. And the shifter paddles for working your way back and forth through the 9-speed automatic transmission. On the back of the steering wheel or behind the steering wheel on the steering column, your front and rear window wiper controls are going to be right there. And then everything for your headlights, taillights, fog lights right here. You can turn those on or off depending on what you want to do. There's on, there's off. It's also your turn signal indicator. So for those of you that know how to use your blinkers, that is what you're going to use that for right there. Now, let's go to our center screen. One of the largest you're going to find in any full-size SUV. Definitely gets the job done and fairly simplistic. At least in my opinion it is. You can see your apps right there. Depending on what you need to do, you got your camera, you can add whatever you want to there. You can go to apps right here if we want to, and you're going to scroll like this instead of across to get to your additional areas. You can see that you have Google Assistant right there. You've got the Play Store. Depending on what you need to do with that, you can wirelessly pair your smartphone, and then you also have everything for your interior lighting right there. Depending on what you want to do, your garage right there if you want to come in right there and set things up. It's going to walk you through what to do. It's very easy to deal with. I like that. And then we're going to have our maps right here. Not sure that I can get that to come up right now. No, I cannot. But it does have the built-in maps, as you can see right there. Google Maps. That's going to take care of everything for you. Dual zone climate control. As you can see, you've got your temperature right here. And we can also raise and lower that here, but you don't have to do that here. You can sync the both sides together if you want to. There are physical controls, which is nice to have. And then I can come right down here and push this button. And we'll go back to the screen, and here's what's going to happen. We're going to get our camera views to come up. And there are quite a few different views depending on what you need to see. You can come and select the different views. As you can see right here, you've got the front view. We also have the view that's going to have that hoodless view, mainly for off-roading. You could use it in other situations if you needed to see what was directly in front of you without the hood line being in the way. So it's basically an invisible hood that works out nicely. And then we have the view right here. So we can come around just like this. It actually looks like it has a panoramic sunroof, but it doesn't. But that's the situation you have right there as far as how that works. And we can also come right here and just select each area depending on what we want to see. All that good stuff is going to be here. And then we can also see that the tail lights will come on when I push the brake pedal. And there's your front views right there. Very nice, very simple to use. I like it. It is effective. And we'll work our way down. Here's your trailer brake control. Nice to have that if you're towing up to 8,500 pounds. Got your button right here for turning the engine on and off. And then right here, everything for the radio, what you're listening to, volume. You can turn the radio on and off, and your hazard light button will be right there. Here are your controls I was telling you about for your air conditioning system. You only have heated seats. I would love to have ventilated seats be a standard feature here. Temperature control is here, fan speed is here, and right here, something else. We're going to come back to the driver's display. I'm going to show you the different driving modes up here. Let's come back up here real quick and show you what's going on there. So you're going to have quite a few to choose from. We're going to have our mud and ruts right there. That's where the invisible hood comes in. That way you can see what's going on around you. Sand, rock. We can work our way back down. You're going to have snow. And then we're going to have standard, eco, sport, and tow. That's really nice to have and nice to see what is there as far as all that goes. Very nice, very easy to use. Now, this is one thing I am curious to know about. What do you think? The push button shifter. To me, I would rather just have a typical shifter, whether it's on the column up here, down here on the center console, if there was room for that, no problem. And you can raise and lower the height right here with this control if you want to, depending on if you need to raise it up or drop it, whatever you want to do right there. I think you know what that's for. And then down here, we're going to have our wireless charging pad, a couple more USB ports. I told you there's a ton of USB ports here in the interior. We also have our cup holders, and the good news, if you want to conceal all of that away, you can. Nice looking lid for the area right there. And then we've got the Armada logo right here. More of that orange contrast stitching. The center console lid doubles as an armrest, and we can open that up and see that we have some space within depending on what we need to do. Guess what? That's not all you have. You have the little tray that is removable and more space underneath that. Before we hop out on the road for the test drive, here is that promised demonstration of the audio, the Klipsch audio. It is a premium audio system with 12 speakers. Don't want to go too long with that, but I hope it gives you a good idea. It sounds really good, that's for sure. Better than what you might expect in a Nissan Armada. All right, here we go on the test drive. Now you'll find that you have a pretty good ride quality. You might wonder about that with the off-roading capabilities, but with the air ride suspension, that's going to help out. The seats themselves are comfortable here in the front seating area, and I don't think I mentioned it earlier in the video, so if somebody's curious, yes, the driver and passenger seats are not only power adjustable, they also have lumbar support, so all of that's going to be here. Plenty of adjustability to help out with getting everything just right, especially for the driver between the adjustments with the driver's seat and the steering wheel. It's easy to see out of, that's a nice thing, but you do have the blind spot monitoring and your other things such as lane keeping assist, all those great safety features that I know a lot of you want to have on your vehicles these days. And hard to believe we ever drove around without them, but we did, and we made it. It wasn't a problem, but that's just the way technology has brought us and the times we live in. The technology overall, in my opinion, is not difficult to learn and use. It's not an overload. I think Nissan has done a pretty nice job here with the way they've set everything up. You have all of your different camera views that you can take advantage of. Now, I have had people ask me before if you can leave the cameras on while you're driving. I think it's 15 miles per hour is the speed where they go off automatically, but that is the situation. Now we're going to make our turn here. Actually, not too bad of a turning radius, and with The horsepower, we can get up and run a little bit. We're not going to go too hard onto it, but to at least get up to the speed limit, I can push the pedal down a little bit. I was a little beyond quarter throttle to easily get up to 45 miles per hour, which is the speed limit in this area. Overall, it's a very versatile vehicle. It's got that off-roading capability with all those great driving modes that you can choose depending on your driving situation, your hill start assist and hill descent control if that's needed. When it comes to utility, you've got your cargo space back there that is very plentiful and adjustable in a few different ways. You're also going to have that 8,500 pounds of potential towing capacity with your trailer brake. All that's going to be equipped and here ready for you. Overall, plenty of room in the interior, especially in the first two rows, decent amount in the rear in that third row. Overall, it is a very well balanced and versatile vehicle that's going to get the job done for you when you need it. And there it is, the 2026 Nissan Armada Pro-4X and the advantages that it offers. Tell me what you think down in the comments section. I would like to say a special thanks to our friends at Nissan for loaning us this Armada for the day so we could tell you all about it. And a special thanks to all of you for being kind enough to give us the opportunity to give you a vision for your next vehicle. If you want to know more, make sure to check out the link in the description of the video. Please be sure to hit the like button. That helps us a bunch. We appreciate it. Make sure to subscribe and share this video on your timelines on social media so other people can see it. And if you would like to see additional vehicles you may wish to consider purchasing, learn about those, check out the video that's on the screen right now, and we'll see you there.